1963, the President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, was shot and killed while traveling in his presidential limousine down Elm Street in Dallas, Texas. It happened just as the limo passed the Texas School Book Depository building. This is about the only thing most people can agree on regarding what happened that fateful day. Since the death of the popular president, hundreds of thousands of articles, books, documentaries, and films have been released promoting this or that conspiracy theory. And at this point in time, more than 60 years since the assassination, a majority of Americans believe JFK was killed as part of a conspiracy. I took a massive interest in the JFK assassination in the early 90s when I was just 12 years old and given a CD-ROM as a gift from my father. JFK Assassination, a visual investigation. I spent hours studying all the documents, photos, articles, and multimedia technology that allows the user to conduct their own investigation. I believed early on that there must have been some type of conspiracy and that the original investigation and report, known as the Warren Commission, must have been mistaken. The Warren Commission had concluded that 3 shots were fired, one that missed completely, a second that struck Kennedy in the back of the neck, causing a non-fatal wound, then the third, which caused a fatal wound to the head. All shots came from the Texas School Book Depository and were fired by Lee Harvey Oswald, a lone gunman. Oswald initially escaped the area and later killed Dallas police officer J.D. Tippit, who attempted to question him. After killing the officer, Oswald escaped to a theater where he was finally detained and arrested. Later, as Oswald was being taken to be transferred, a man named Jack Ruby entered the basement of the Dallas Police Department, shot and killed Oswald, a major event that only helped propel more conspiracy theories and ended the life of Oswald, who would now never be able to confess what he did or what he knew. The commission determined that neither Oswald nor Ruby had any ties to a conspiracy whatsoever. Over the years, I began to purchase book after book and watch any documentaries or films that I could get my hands on that had a theory on the Kennedy assassination. I was after one thing: the truth. And I found the best way to discover the truth was by process of elimination, debunking one theory after another until the one theory that made the most sense remained. And that's what I did. So for this video series, we'll be doing just that, debunking conspiracy theories. Even if you believe JFK was killed in a conspiracy, what are the details of the conspiracy? Was it the mob? Was it the FBI? Was it the CIA? Was it Lyndon B. Johnson who wanted to be president? This playlist will cover it all and debunk one theory after another, leading to a final conclusion. And it's the perfect time to make these videos as the JFK assassination files are reportedly close to a public release. But will those files contain anything groundbreaking that changes my opinion or proves what really happened? I highly doubt that. But I'm looking forward to the release of the files anyway. With all that said, welcome to the Debunking JFK Conspiracy Theories playlist. And this video is an introduction to the conspiracy theories. We'll be talking about how the tragic assassination of John F. Kennedy exploded into a multi-billion-dollar industry involving thousands of books and a country that still largely believes in a conspiracy. But what is a conspiracy exactly? For me, it simply means a concerted effort, more than one individual planning and executing an act. In this case, either Oswald acted completely alone, brought a rifle to the 6th floor of the School Book Depository where he happened to work, waited until the president's limo drove by, and took the shots. Alternatively, there's the conspiracy theory that other people were also involved, or perhaps other people were involved instead of Oswald. Some people do believe he is completely innocent and a completely separate group of people conspired to set him up. Either way, either one individual planned and committed the act, in which case that person was likely Lee Harvey Oswald, or perhaps there were multiple people involved conspiring to kill the president. A conspiracy. Almost immediately after the death of JFK, conspiracy theories began to emerge. Of course, there will always be a small group of super conspiracy theorists who believe that there's a conspiracy behind everything, and those people were around in 1963. There are individuals today who actually believe things like flat Earth, believing that every scientist, geologist, pilot, and surveyor in the world are all in on the conspiracy. However, it was more than just the super conspiracy theorists who believed that something bigger was going on regarding the JFK assassination. And one of the driving forces behind this is the fact that we as humans have a hard time believing that one strange loner could possibly be the singular cause for such a tragic event that had massive effects on the country and the world. This is why we instinctively refer to the killer as they whenever a public figure is shot. But perhaps the biggest reason this particular case got so much traction in the world of conspiracy theories is because of so many strange occurrences and inconsistencies in the timeline, making it ripe for authors to make a quick buck with their conspiracy literature. For instance, the bullet that hit JFK in the back of the neck had to also hit Governor Connally, who was sitting in front of him. But Connally's testimony conflicts with the actual reports. Also, Ruby shooting and killing Oswald made it look like a conspiracy in which Ruby was sent to silence the killer. Books like Mark Lane's Rush to Judgment came out in the 60s, theorizing that Oswald was framed. Articles started to appear in newspapers and magazines questioning the Warren Commission and further pushing various conspiracy theories. By 1967, more books were being written focusing on the forensics of the case, breaking down bullet trajectories, and starting to spread the multiple shooter theory. The conspiracy movement got a huge boost when New Orleans District Attorney Jim Garrison did his own investigation into the JFK assassination and eventually prosecuted a businessman named Clay Shaw for the murder of the former president. The conspiracy community gathered in New Orleans to support Garrison, but he was unable to prove Shaw had anything to do with JFK's assassination, and Shaw was acquitted. The investigation and trial was made into a movie called JFK in 1991, directed by Oliver Stone, a movie which supported the conspiracy movement and brought the case back into mainstream popularity in the 1990s. Back in 1979, the conspiracy theorists got a huge victory when the U.S. House Select Committee on Assassinations concluded that the Warren Commission's report and investigation had serious flaws and that at least 4 shots were fired, creating a high probability of a second gunman. Their final determination was that there was probably a conspiracy. Another massive boost to the movement was the various TV specials and documentaries that would air periodically from the 70s up through the modern day. Every time interest in the assassination began to wane, a new documentary or film would come out and give it new life. In 2013, several specials were released for the 50th anniversary, one claiming that the fatal shot was made not by Oswald, but by an innocent Secret Service agent whose finger slipped and pulled the trigger just at the exact moment you'd expect Oswald to pull the trigger. And it just happened to hit JFK right in the head. That will be a fun one to debunk. But with almost every documentary, book, or film, a different supposed truth is presented. And although most Americans may believe in a conspiracy, how many can actually agree on what the conspiracy is? This video series will have several individual videos debunking one theory after another, using a combination of real evidence and common sense. We will consider what has to be true for the conspiracies to be true, and it's up to you to decide if that really makes sense or not. And for me, as I dug into each conspiracy, I would always find at least one or more reasons why the theory is just not plausible. And at the end, I'll explain what I believe really happened and why it's the one theory that makes the most sense and has the least amount of holes in it. I've studied the case for more than 30 years, read countless books and articles, and have seen hundreds of documentaries. And I hope to do my part in bringing more interest into it, but not interest for conspiracy's sake, but interest in knowing the truth about what happened on November 22nd, 1963. For the first debunking video, if it's released yet, click the link above or check out the description, as I will add a link to each video as I do them. Thank you all so much for checking out today's video. I look forward to talking about this tragic assassination, all the theories, and all the craziness behind it with you all in the videos and in the comments section throughout the next few months. In one of the videos, we'll go personally to Dallas and check out the site, including a visit to the school book depository, which is now a museum that I visited before, but I look forward to doing it again for the channel. Y'all have a great day, and we'll talk to you in the next one.